Hey everyone, so it's Friday again. This week we are talking about something that is very serious, and of course Stefan didn't join in. Everyone else has been talking about Nerdfighter hate, and I'm going to put my little 2 cents in. I haven't been a Nerdfighter for long. I have actually been following the Vlogbrothers for several years and a lot of Nerdfighter related videos, but I never sought out the community and never took part in it until sometime last semester when I realized that I didn't have any friends in the city that I'm living in. And I made a ton of friends through Nerdfighteria, and I absolutely love the community. Nerdfighter hate is not necessarily something that I came across a lot, but I am not surprised. Nerdfighteria is mostly teenagers going through a lot of stuff. Most of them are socially awkward and nerds, and that is never a popular thing. So whenever a group of unpopular people group together and become popular, people will be annoyed, and that is just plain expected. The issues that have been raised against Nerdfighters is, firstly, that they are elitists, secondly, that they are annoying, and thirdly, that they self-identify as socially awkward and parade it around as though it's a good thing. I am going to talk about all these issues, but first I'm going to talk a bit about myself when I was young. When I was young, I was called a nerd. I didn't self-identify necessarily as a nerd. People came up to me and told me I was a nerd because I did well in school, I read books, and I enjoyed things that were considered weird. Because of that, I was cast out, I was a social outcast, and I became what could be called socially awkward. I didn't know how to react to a social situation. I didn't know how to be funny, I didn't know how to talk, and everything I said was basically laughed at, and that is basically what being socially awkward is. I didn't learn how to become not socially awkward until I finally made some friends and spent time with kids my age and learned how to act around kids my age. A lot of people that are in Nerdfighteria are young kids or teens that are exactly in that situation. If I had been in that situation and found Nerdfighteria, I probably would have latched onto it and held it for dear life and been so happy that I would parade it everywhere, be so happy to find other people that are also socially awkward, and I would be freaking annoying! And that's what everyone is, basically. That's what is so annoying about Nerdfighteria. They're parading around something that isn't supposed to be accepted. But that's also where the elitism comes from. Or that's what I think, because people are so happy that they are part of this community, they're parading it everywhere, being very annoying to other eyes and saying, we are an awesome community, we are awesome, we are awesome, we are awesome, we are awesome. Does that imply that everyone else isn't awesome? That is very elitist, and it does create a kind of us and them situation. And I never like us and them situations. I think that is a terrible thing to do all the time. So we should maybe look at that. And of course, there are a lot of rotten apples in every single community, especially of this size. So we should be very careful about how we come across to people. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that Lime was right. What Nerdfighters is about, and the reason that I am so proud and happy to be a Nerdfighter, is that Nerdfighters aren't about hating. They aren't about looking at other groups and saying, you are worse than I am. It's about being awesome. Being awesome is not saying that someone else is worse than you. It's about remembering that you are awesome and just doing good and helping people. And that's what we should do. We should take everything with a grain of salt. We should remember that we come from a great group, that we are great people, and that other people, they can be awesome even though they're not Nerdfighters, even though they don't do the same things as we do. And just be really proud of ourselves all the time. I think that's all I have to say on the subject. I'm sorry about the mushy heart-to-heart. I hope you'll forgive me, and I promise that next week we'll have something less serious as a theme. Don't forget to be awesome.